City of Apache Junction Council meeting for August 15th, 2023. And I ask everyone to put their cell phones into silent. The invocation will be led by Vice Mayor Schroeder, and Councilman Nesser will do the pledge.
Thank you, Lord, for giving us the opportunity to conduct city business on behalf of its residents. We ask that you keep a watchful eye over our first responders, our police, our fire department, and paramedics. We also ask that you keep a special eye on the citizens of Hawaii with the devastating fires that ravaged their land. In God's name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Wilson,
Here.
Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Here.
Councilmember Cross,
Here.
Councilmember Heck,
Here.
Councilmember Johnson,
Here.
Councilmember Nesser,
Present.
Councilmember Soller.
Here.
You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. Consent agenda. As a reminder, all items under the consent agenda will be approved with one motion. If a councilman wishes to remove an item for further discussion, the request must be made prior to the approving the consent agenda and will be moved to a new business. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Soller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser,
Yes.
Councilmember Cross,
Yes.
Councilmember Heck,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We don't have any words or proclamations this evening. Regional intergovernment updates. Does anyone have anything up here that they want to bring up? Yes, go ahead.
I represent the City Council on the board of GPEC, which is the Greater Phoenix Economic Council. That organization our mission is to encourage and to create growth in the business development market in the Greater Phoenix area. And they periodically provide reports about how the Greater Phoenix area is doing in any number of areas. But there are a couple of things, and I just like to share them when I receive the information. For example, the economy, the Greater Phoenix area has certainly improved when it comes to the economy. The economy grew by almost 7% from 20 to 21. Now, part of that was because it was post-COVID, but certainly we are seeing a general trend moving forward that the economy is growing in this area. Housing market, the Greater Phoenix area for the last decade has seen growth in the number and the home values, and that continues. Now, there's been a cooling off period. I think for probably the last 6 months, there was a decline in housing values, but that is showing that's turning around a little bit. But the average home price in June in the Greater Phoenix area was $343,000. So it's quite still an impressive market. The last item, cost of living. I think this is always a very interesting piece of information to help us understand where we figure. And I get a list of many cities around the country. Right now, the Phoenix area, the Greater Phoenix metropolitan area, is up. The cost of living is 3.8% above the national average, number has actually improved. We've actually seen a slight decline in our cost of living. And while still operating or still having to experience a cost of living higher than the national average, I find that we can make ourselves feel better because Manhattan, their cost of living is 122% of the cost of living. So if you want to spend your money wildly, move to Manhattan. So I think we're still in a pretty good shape, and I think their trends are very positive for the greater Phoenix area. And that's it. Thank you.
Any? Yes.
Myself and Councilmember Cross went to the ASU Policy Academy at the Morrison Institute for a two-day seminar down in Phoenix. We talked about the housing shortage. There's 44% increase in homelessness in Arizona over the last 5 years. Half of those that are homeless do not have a place to live. They have to live on the street. They talked about trying to get more housing for low-income and homeless people, and they're studying it and trying to come up with recommendations. Talked about community outreach, and also we talked about indigenous, the Indian community, and getting them up to date with the digital services like Cox and internet and cable. We also talked about APS energy update and what we're doing to increase clean energy and make it more affordable and reduce our emissions. So they're doing studies on that too at the Morrison Institute. We talked about water municipal regulations and decreasing the decreasing water supply and the things that we're all trying to work on, just like we had the water meeting tonight, addressing water issues for the future. And then we talked about K through 12 education and getting more children involved in getting better grades and getting schools more productive and getting good education, because some of our schools and our students are failing, so they're working on trying to get a fix for that. And we also talked about retention of teachers and how to get teachers that are eligible to teach but do not teach. They have left the service, to try to get them to come back and fill the gap of the teacher shortage. And they're also going to do initiative on police officers and why police officers are leaving and how to stop or slow that drain of knowledge of veteran police officers leaving and try to retain them. So it was very interesting, and they covered a lot of stuff. If you don't know, the Morrison Institute is a research arm of ASU, and they take on projects and do research projects on them, and it's really, really interesting. So we had a good time.
Anyone else?
Your Honor?
Yes.
So I represent the city on the CAG board, which is Central Arizona Governments. And over the last few years, CAG has been managing PARTA, which is the Pinal Regional Transportation Authority. Now, this is an organization that was juggling two organizations. But recently, we had a vote, and it passed that the county will now be managing PARTA, which is good news for this county because they have the resources, they have the staff, and they have the ability to expedite some of these ideas we have for connecting the valley through roads, whether it's the north-south corridor or extending the 24 to the 60, just things like that. But we're very excited to say that the county is now taking over PARTA. Not that CAG didn't do a good job, but it's very hard to juggle these two organizations because PARTA is becoming bigger and bigger every year. So that's it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have one thing I want to announce in the aspect is tomorrow evening, ADOT is having a meeting at our Multi-Generation Center concerning the reopening of State Route 88, what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and what it needs to look at, and you know, the foreseeable future. And they're going to come up with, the way I last understood, there's 3 ideas that they're presenting that they're currently you know, working on, and which one they're going to finalize. It's at the Multi-Generation Center tomorrow. Opening is at 5:30 with the presentation starting at 6. And I encourage everyone that's interested in that to please attend. City Manager's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bryant Powell, City Manager. Over the last several months, the City of Apache Junction, in concert with Apache Junction Water District and Arizona Water have been working on our world of trying to help folks understand where our water comes from. And so one of the ways we've done that is to put together a video to help everyone learn a little bit more. So we're going to show that video tonight.
Water. We all drink it every day. It waters our plants and fuels our daily activities. Have you ever wondered about the journey water takes in Apache Junction? Join us as we explore the remarkable water journey from the source to the tap. The community of Apache Junction receives potable or drinking water from two utility companies, the Apache Junction Water District and Arizona Water Company. This is unique to the community of Apache Junction. Let's begin our journey by discussing the potable water for Apache Junction Water District customers. The Apache Junction Water District is a community facilities district managed by a board made up of members of the Apache Junction City Council. 95% of the water for Apache Junction Water District customers is Colorado River water that comes from the Central Arizona Project. The Superstition Area Water Plant, located adjacent to the Central Arizona Project, is where Colorado River water is treated before being delivered to customers. Through a direct filtration process, water is purified to meet the necessary standards for safe consumption. In the event of any maintenance requirements or exceptional circumstances, Apache Junction Water District also utilizes groundwater as an additional source of water. This groundwater is pumped from nearby wells and undergoes a coagulation and filtration purification process. Once purified, water flows to two ground storage tanks and booster sites with a combined capacity of 4 million gallons. Water is then distributed to Apache Junction Water District residential and business customers around Apache Junction. The Apache Junction Water District water system is designed to meet the community's demands, providing a reliable supply of water year-round. There is additional capacity at the Superstition Area Water Plant to expand to meet the demands of our growing community. Now, let's explore the water journey for Arizona Water Company customers. Arizona Water Company is a privately owned water utility that has been serving water to the city of Apache Junction and some surrounding unincorporated areas since 1955. The water for Arizona Water Company comes from two sources: groundwater pumped from wells and Colorado River water delivered by the Central Arizona Project. Groundwater is pumped from Arizona Water Company wells that have a production capacity that can reach an impressive 16 million gallons of water per day if needed. This is sufficient to meet demands during the highest water use months of the year. Arizona Water Company also uses its wells to recover Central Arizona Project water stored at nearby groundwater savings facilities and recharge projects. Before it reaches the consumers, the water undergoes a crucial treatment process. It is first directed to the Baseline and Oasis arsenic removal facilities. Here, the water is treated to remove arsenic through a coagulation and filtration process, ensuring it meets drinking water standards set by the Environmental Protection Agency. Once the arsenic is removed, the water is stored on site. Both the Oasis and Baseline facilities have dedicated storage tanks with a combined capacity of approximately 2 million gallons. From there, the water enters the distribution system, which includes an extensive network of storage tanks strategically placed throughout the Apache Junction area. Storage tanks play a crucial role in maintaining a robust water supply that meets peak demand and provides adequate fire flow for emergencies. Whether you are a customer of Apache Junction Water District or Arizona Water Company, water utility employees work tirelessly to ensure that systems operate smoothly to deliver water to homes, businesses, and recreational areas in the city of Apache Junction. Their commitment ensures a reliable supply of water 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This has been the remarkable water journey, a network of wells, storage tanks, and interconnected systems that pump, treat, and deliver water from the Colorado River and local aquifers to the taps of Apache Junction.
We want to thank you for your support in the One Water effort as we try to keep doing our best to help folks understand where the water comes from and how to best use it wisely. We'll continue to get that information out on our website as well as the Water District website and Arizona Water website. Al, is there anything else you want to share?
Your Honor?
Yes.
Well, one
Go ahead.
second.
Yep.
The first half of that video covered the Apache Junction Water District. And I want to say that I'm very impressed on how clean those facilities are. I mean, that speaks volumes on how seriously they take their job, and it's a good job to them, very good job.
Yeah, we'll make sure, yeah, thank you.
Very good. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Al Bravo, Public Information Officer for the city. A couple of announcements to pass along to you this evening. There is the next Level Up Your Business seminar that the city and the Chamber of Commerce is putting on. This one is on September the 7th. It's going to be talking about how you get money for your business, access to capital. So watch for information on that. Certainly if you are an entrepreneur or folks out there who are looking to try to grow their business, this might be one for them to attend, September 7th over at CAC. Lots of events still going on, even though the temperature may be rising, and hopefully it'll be falling very soon. A couple of good things coming up this week, Books and Brews over at the Handlebar, and a couple other things going on at Parks and at the library. Everyone is always welcome, and remember, you can always go to apachejunction.az.gov. If you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you can see the calendar there with all of these events. Very, very important to keep track on what's going on in your community. One more dive-in movie before we're all done for the summer. That's in September 9th. Surf's Up is the movie. Of course, it's over at the Superstition Shadows Aquatic Center. And a reminder that our boards and commissions application process is now open. You have until September 15th to apply for positions that will be opening on our various city boards and commissions. You can go to apachejunction.az.gov/boards for all the information and to apply. The plan will be October or November? October for interviews and appointments by the City Council. And remember, you can always find our information every week in the city newsletter. You can get that at apachejunction.az.gov/newsletter. Those are your announcements for August the 15th, 2023.
Thank you. Applications for a Series 6 bar license, or bar liquor license for Super Skies Dining and Dance Hall located at 945 East Scenic. Jennifer.
Thank you, Your Honor, City Council. Before you tonight, as you mentioned, is an application, is a Series 6, which is a bar liquor license. It was submitted by Amy Nations on behalf of the owner, Philip Trainer, from Super Skies Dining and Hall Dance located at 945 East Scenic Street here in Apache Junction. The city received the application on July 17th, and we posted the location on July 20th. We have met our 20-day posting requirement and received no comments from the public regarding the application. The correspondence related to the inspections of the premises for safety and code compliance matters have been received from the Apache Junction Police Department, Building and Safety Division, Planning and Zoning Department, and the Superstition Fire and Medical District. The Planning Department did note that this establishment exists as a lawful, non-conforming use since it resides in a commercial, since it is a commercial use in a multifamily residential zoned area. However, the city recognition of non-conforming rights was issued through a letter of lawful non-conformity, which is transferable upon sale of the property, which has occurred throughout the years. So this has existed for several years at this location. It's just kind of changed ownership a few times. Also to note, a fire did cause some structural damage within the last year. All the permits were properly pulled and repairs and inspections have been approved. All 4 entities find compliance with the inspection requirements and recommend approval. Their responses were attached in the agenda packet this evening. It is before you this evening. The applicant is here if you have any questions of them, and it is on your agenda for a public hearing.
Applicant, do they wish to speak? Only if needed, okay. Any discussion among the council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I do have a question. So when they had that, I guess probably you have to come up and.
Amy, would you state your name and where you're from, Amy?
Yes.
Thank you.
My name's Amy Nations, and I'm with Arizona Liquor Industry Consultants, and I was hired by the owner of Super Skies Dining and Dance Hall to help him through this process. And my address is 1811 South Alma School Road, Suite 268 in Mesa, Arizona, 85210.
Thank you, Amy. Just a quick question. So there was that fire on the west side of the west end of the property.
Correct.
So I know all the inspections, the approvals have been granted. So the restaurant has not been open all this time, is that correct, then?
It has opened recently with an interim permit liquor license because the location's already qualified, but it's opened within the last couple of weeks.
I see, okay, so the
So the whole
repair
time
work and all is
before.
not done yet?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. But you still have you do have the interim permit to.
That's
before the-
correct. And, well, everything, you know, they're just doing small things here and there as far as working inside the.
Was the kitchen damaged and all in the fire?
I don't know, was the kitchen damaged?
No, it was nowhere near the main structure of the building.
Mr. Mayor, he needs to step up.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can,
Yeah, he can't answer, sorry.
he needs to come up to the
Come on up.
microphone.
Okay.
I'm Philip Trainer, and I live over here at 600 South Idaho in Rock Shadows Retirement Park. I got tired of shoveling snow, so I came down here for the last 3 winters, and I like going out to Superstition Skies, and I'd like to see it open, but I tried to get people to help, but ended up doing, me and my nephew got into it. I'm supposed to be retired. Now I'm just tired.
Yeah. But so was the kitchen involved in?
No, it was nowhere near the,
Okay,
no, it was, the main part of the building that's still, that we're operating now, there was that addition on the east side, and it was a 2-story, and the fire was upstairs in there, and that's all been removed.
okay. Good, all right,
Anyone else?
thank you.
Okay. Unless you want to say anything else?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. As a public hearing, would anyone like to speak on this item? And I see nobody moving. I will now close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Mayor?
Yes.
I move that the application for a Series 6 bar liquor license for the Superstition Skies Dining and Dance Hall located at 945 East Scenic Street, Apache Junction, Arizona, be recommended for approval to the Arizona Department of Liquor Licenses and Control.
Second.
Was that a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Nesser?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cross? I'll come
Darrell?
back.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilmember Heck?
Yes,
Councilmember Soller?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Schroeder?
Yes.
Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Okay. We have no old business, no new business. Is there any direction to staff? Don't see any direction. And I'll now go on to the call to the public. I'd like to remind everyone the call to the public is a courtesy and not required by law. It's a time for the public to express requests, communication, comments, and suggestions. Requests to speak forms must have been completed and handed to the city clerk before the end of the city manager's report. All the issues shall be presented in a professional manner without personal attacks. Under the open meeting law, council cannot engage in a discussion on the issues presented, but may respond to criticism, may direct staff to follow up with the speaker directly, or place this matter on a future agenda for council to discuss. There's a 3-minute limit for each speaker. And Amy, she's left. Okay.
She's walking back in now, I believe.
Is that Andre? What name?
Okay.
you mean Nate?
Wrong one.
Amy Nations, she says if wanted.
Oh.
Don't.
Yeah.
So, Jane Brown?
Good evening, representatives and Mayor. I'm Jane Brown from Val Vista. I've been doing some reading and found that August is a key.
Your address?
Name, address?
Your address?
Val Vista Road, Apache Junction. I found that August is a key month for reporting and planning for water. The governor has an open to the public meeting on the 23rd. You can get an invitation to watch online. CAP has a meeting on the 17th, same thing, you can watch online. Colorado River, the federal monitoring program is requiring us to have our plans in, the states that are impacted, in August. So this is a critical time for everyone to be thinking about water. I noticed that one of our two water companies has asked for a 30% increase in the rate right now. And with that company, if you have your water turned on, you pay $25 a month before you get any water. There used to be a zero tier where you paid $25 a month and you got 1,000 gallons. No longer. Neither one of the AJ companies give you any water. You just get water to your property. And then you have one rate for the first 2,000 gallons, and then the rate goes up. Some people say that a household needs 10,000 gallons a month. I don't know. I only know my usage. I haven't really talked to other people. But what I did notice is that the way our rates go up in AJ, we go all the way up. Well, depending on if they get their 30%, we go over $6, 1,000. In other words, for me, I pay $22 plus then I pay $12. So my water bill is small. But then there's 5 fees on there that are based on the rates. So those 5 fees, we don't know how far they're going to go up. Casa Grande has a water rate for everybody that is half of our lowest.
You have another minute.
You got it.
Okay. So I think we all need to research this to see where we fit in. Is Tesla's Casa Grande going to take all our water? Regarding the Colorado River, Arizona is the junior state. Apache Junction is considered a junior city. We are so down on the priority list for the Colorado River. And if you know about the groundwater issues, a letter went out to the top 15 developers in Pinal County that they cannot depend on the 100-year from groundwater. They need to find a second source. So they're going to have to bring in, water purification. I don't know what they're going to have to do. And I also noticed that that not the AZ water, but the AJ water doesn't encourage any conservation whatsoever. So I think we need to address those issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, the one other thing, remember the property with the 16 units had the 48 bedrooms and the 48 water closets?
No, you're
They
done.
went on the market the day after you approved it.
Donna Carr?
Donna Carr, Apache Junction resident. Just to say, we were talking about the homeless people and stuff, and I was over by Goodwill the other day, and I hear one crackhead talking to the other saying, "Oh, you're new around here." He goes, "Yeah, I came in a couple weeks ago from California." And just to say, Anchorage, Alaska, their governor plans on, and I'm not sure whereabouts they're gonna end up, but they're going to give all their homeless people one-way tickets. And this did happen about 40 years ago where Washington did the same thing. And we had people that were living under bridges and everything else back 40 years ago. The Saudis, from my understanding, is they were taking enough water in the state of Arizona to support a city of 50,000. So I think it's a little bit ridiculous that they're growing their crops here and they're sending them overseas. That's a little bit on the crazy side. And I stepped outside to try to see if I could figure out where I read this this morning. But it said that Pinal County, I guess, did not get their fiscal reports done properly, so they might not get federal funding. So you might want to look into that. And just to let everybody know is this month we had 2 full moons. The second one will be at the end of the month. It's called the Ring of Fire. First time ever seen in the state of Arizona. So you might want to look out for it. It's going to be considered the Ring of Fire. Thanks.
That's what we're living through. Andrew Meek?
Andre Meek, 1327 South Bel Air Road here in AJ. So, good evening, Mayor, Council. So Councilman Solar said that a 44% increase in homelessness in Arizona.
44% over 5 years.
Over 5 years, okay. But that's a lot, and we're not even chipping away at it in the least. Don't know, all I can say is we gotta keep trying, Housing is non-existent for anybody in low income. You can't find it. When a trailer park closes, it becomes high rent housing, maybe some kind of moratorium, a delay, so the people aren't just like, sold today, out tomorrow, give them a chance to find something. And as far as, the people that are out there on the street right now, we have all these laws against them being in the street, and, thank God there is some compassion and all that. And, I just hope that we can find more of a path to make it better for them and make it better for the city. And, also, that's all I have to say on that. And then as far as the water, yeah, but, like I've said before, I catch a lot of water just off my roof at my house, and I really think just, rain harvesting should really be pressed, because right now I'm out of water. I'm waiting for this rain, because, I've used all my tanks up, but, I have the capacity to get 44,000 gallons a year for free. So I think, it should be pressed, that it can be, tanks put in very easily, and people start irrigating more with rainwater. So, about all I have to say. Thank you.
Mayor, can I just address the water thing one more time? Just tonight on the...
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could wait until after
Okay.
everybody else has spoken, then you'll have a chance to address any criticism that you may have received.
Leonard Jeffries.
Thank you. My name's Leonard W. Jeffrey. I own DSART Investments, LLC. I house homeless veterans. I build facilities. I've got several in Mesa. I bought the Greyhound banded track in 6/21. You said you would get me an address that week. I've never got an address. If you would check the minutes on the meeting, you said make sure you get Mr. Jeffrey an address. But besides that, Mr. Rudy was spreading rumors around that I didn't have contractor's license and I did things on my other facilities without a permit. Well, I give each one of you council members a copy of my general contractor's license and my permits. Well, the same property I took Rudy to 2 days afterwards, 3 inspectors were at my property. And I told them, I said, this is this guy Rudy. They said, I showed them my paperwork and my permits, and they laughed and left. 3 days later, Larry Snyder, one of the inspectors, called me, and he told me, he said, your buddies from AJ keep calling us. We have to make you do something. Now, this is Maricopa County, a different county than Pinell. He has no jurisdiction in it. Finally, I had to spend $7,000 on landscaping and take the veteran sign down, and they want me to get rid of half the veterans, make them homeless, all because of Rudy. I had to put a motel sign up. Rudy's held my property hostage for 2 years over here with the wrong address, refuses me a permit. This man, the reason he was over there, the neighbors said tweakers were coming in the property. I spent $20,000 on a fence, and he has been living on a generator for 2 years. Yes. Rudy refuses him electric or water, and there's a 400 commercial amp meter there. Now, that's cruelty. We don't leave dogs in a hot car, 119 degrees, and a man ain't even allowed water. I've had electricians there. I've had his boss there he works for, and he's a veteran. Now, the problem ain't with the homeless. It's the cities do not want affordable housing. The cities have stopped me. 14 veterans could have been in there 2 years, I offered to donate the property to Nick, to the city here. I said, if you guys got an issue with me, I'm gonna give the property. Nick said, we can't afford to redo it. Really? Well, the last council meeting I was in, I had to puke in the parking lot. You guys said you had only 70,000 in your mandatory fund, but then a few minutes later, you said, yay, we're giving $1.2 million for doggy park. Now, that's stupid. What kind of human being puts dogs above veterans? They can't afford, he only get, how much you get a month, John?
I get $1,200 a month.
How can he afford $1,200 apartment and then electric and water? I've tried to help these people. I've given up on building this facility. I just want my title straightened up and it quit sabotage by Rudy.
Okay,
And I want this man electric and water within a week or this is going viral.
okay.
Just point out one thing, the property applies to everything that several people have discussed. And
Excuse me,
No,
excuse me.
No, no.
Ma'am, ma'am,
to help the homeless population, and they won't let it.
could you,
Her brother was murdered
Okay, okay.
2 months ago.
Because he's homeless,
Walking
he
down
cannot
the
find a
street.
house to shop for no reason.
It's because you people don't
No,
care
not
about
you
that.
people,
You
but
don't care about
something
homeless,
needs to be done.
you only care about being on TV or being in the
So
newspaper.
that's what it was about.
Well, you're the one who brought a camera.
George Schroeder.
No, any of this.
I'm giving you the week before I put this viral. I don't want this to be known as the only city in the United States of America puts dogs above our American veterans.
I would have to listen to what I got to say.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he's got something similar. Okay. Okay, well, thank you for your time.
George Schroeder, 244 West Virginia Street. Can I add any more? You have a DS that is criminal. Okay? On many, many counts, in many different levels and areas of the city. When do we get rid of Mr. Rudy? I'm only quoting him. When did we say enough? I didn't see anybody at the homeless meeting. Why? Okay? He's right. You don't care. And it's because you're afraid of these two. You're afraid because they're going to pull your money from the LDS church and you get nothing. I know. I'm not going there. So I've had 2 city council members tell me they're afraid of them. So hang on. So I did pitch a alternative view, and I did tell Mr. Powell what it was. It's a transit terminal, not just for indigent, not just for homeless, not just for illegal aliens who don't know where to go because nobody's giving them a way to go. Just squat in their neighborhoods and die. Okay? That's your alternative. That's what they're pitching. And when I go to say about code enforcement, they don't care. They help them break the law. So I can't complain. That's retarded. Sorry. That means you don't care at all. You don't care at all. You say, oh, we do. You joined the city council to do something. I'm looking at 40 years here. They only take. They do not give. They hinder, Rudy hinders, and this gentleman's correct. How long has he been coming up here? What is the problem here? What does it take? You would rather pay $20 million for some guy who got shot in the Safeway parking lot instead of spending $200,000 to change the codes to make them legal. You're smiling. This is the wrong time to smile. This is serious. People are dying. And what are you doing? Have a good night.
Okay. Council have any follow-up?
Yeah,
Honor.
I'm sorry. Go, Rob.
Brian, would you be so kind to have the department send us over detailed information about the exchange regarding that property?
Yes, we'll
Thank
get that over to you. In fact, I think we're working on it right now.
You wanted to
I just want to address the water issue. Just tonight, I heard that the federal government is going to reduce the water, or reduce the drought level from a 2 to a 1, which is good, which means every city or every state will get more Colorado River water. We still got to watch, we still got to conserve, but there is a little good news on the waterfront right now. So that come out in the news today, so that's a good thing for everybody involved with water. It doesn't mean it's going away, that we can use a lot of water, but it's at least a little reprieve for now. So,
Anyone else? Thank you. Adjourned.